A passenger train collided with a cargo train in central India Tuesday, killing at least 7 people and injuring several others, a senior government official said. According to Associated Press, the incident happened near Bilaspur, about 116 kilometers from Chhattisgarh's state capital, Raipur. Local television channels showed images of one train colliding with another near the accident site. Rescuers are searching through the debris for survivors. About a dozen people were injured in the accident and have been taken to local hospitals for treatment. The condition of one of them is critical, senior government official Sanjay Agarwal, who serves as the district collector of Bilaspur where the incident occurred. In a statement, network operator Indian Railways said it has moved all its resources for rescue efforts. It said an inquiry into the cause of the accident has been started. Chhattisgarh's highest elected official Vishnu Deo Sai offered his condolences to the bereaved families. Train collisions aren't uncommon in India, where the vast rail network faces issues of aging infrastructure and human error. More than 12 million people travel on India's 14,000 trains each day across 64,000 kilometers of track. Despite government efforts to improve rail safety, several hundred accidents, some deadly, occur annually and are often blamed on human error or outdated signaling systems. A crash in the eastern part of the country in 2023 killed more than 280 people in what was one of India's deadliest train disasters.
ऐसा मौके पे आप देख के जैसा कि लग रहा है कि ये मालगाड़ी थी और इसके ऊपर पीछे से आके नैनो मेमू जो ट्रेन है पैसेंजर ये टकराई है। अभी लगातार जो भी घायल थे उनको सबको रवाना कर किया जा चुका है हॉस्पिटल में, और टोटल कैजुअलिटी कितनी हुई है ये आपको थोड़ी देर में बता पाएंगे हम।
Russian propagandists have reached the acceptance stage. After nearly 4 years of war, they have acknowledged that the goals of aggression are unachievable and that a peace deal is in order. Ukrainian blogger Denis Kazansky drew attention to the change in Russian rhetoric. Konstantin Sivkov, deputy president of the Russian Academy of Missile and Artillery Sciences, effectively ridiculed the Russian Ministry of Defense's upbeat reports. He emphasized that the army boasts about capturing empty and deserted villages that have neither strategic nor symbolic significance. You're discovering these settlements out of curiosity. In 2001, one had 500 residents and in the other 160. Guys, that's 20 to 30 houses, Sivkov said. He was supported by retired Russian Army Colonel and military analyst Oleg Falichev. He bluntly stated that Russia was unlikely to achieve its stated goals and would likely be forced to compromise. We've stated that we're not changing our stated goals, but in my view, things are moving toward Russia likely agreeing to a so-called deal. A deal always involves compromise. And compromise involves retreating from the goals and intentions previously stated, he said. Falichev emphasized that after 3.5 years of war, Russia has not achieved anything significant. 3.5 years have already passed in the Great Patriotic War. We were in Berlin after 4 years. And where are we now? Only 20% of the territory has been liberated. Well, we need to weigh things up. Apparently, something's not right, the Russian colonel noted. This admission from the military seems particularly telling, given the Kremlin's official statements, which continue to insist on steady progress and the completion of all objectives. In reality, even supporters of Russian aggression are beginning to recognize the senselessness of the war and the scale of the losses. Such statements aired on Russian television testify to a growing crisis of trust within the system. Even loyal military analysts are now forced to acknowledge the obvious. The Russian army is bogged down in Ukraine, and promises of denazification and demilitarization have long since become empty words. Earlier, Z-blogger called for preparations for the collapse of Putin's regime due to the protracted war. Russian Z-patriot Maxim Kalashnikov spoke of the inevitable overthrow of the Putin regime due to the protracted aggression against Ukraine. He emphasized that Ukraine's capabilities are growing daily while Russia's position is deteriorating. War leads to inevitable political upheaval. We must prepare for it, wrote Z-blogger. The propagandist drew attention to the lag in the military sphere. He recalled that according to a decision by the Ministry of Defense Board, unmanned forces were supposed to be deployed to the Russian armed forces by the end of the third quarter of 2025, but they still haven't been created. Meanwhile, Ukraine formed its Unmanned Systems Force in record time on February the 6th, 2024. Kalashnikov also recalled that Ukrainian drones are systematically attacking Russian oil refineries, causing a fuel crisis and undermining the country's economy. Russia's air defenses have proven ineffective in repelling these attacks. A monstrous delay in decision-making, a monstrous inertia in the scientific and technological struggle. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand the outcome of the current positional SVO, Kalashnikov emphasized. Z-blogger's comments reflect growing dissatisfaction within Russian society with the Putin regime and its ineffectiveness.